In the previous video, we already introduced Adam Smith's idea about how saving could promote capital stock and technological innovation. Okay. One more thing I want to say here is upon this moment, you should be able to do the in-class worksheet number 3. Okay. And you would find 2 questions over there. One is about the relationship between saving and economic growth. Okay, and we ask you to show that on the PPF graph. Okay, the purchasing power. The production possibility frontier graph. The second question is about the relationship between saving and investment, which I did not really discuss in the these pre-recorded videos, but I want to leave that for you guys to try on your own. Okay, especially for those who already took intermediate macroeconomics. Okay, if you didn't take intermediate macro, you only had introductory course before these, and again I would still encourage you to try it on your own, and then if you get confused or stuck, just come to the class and we will walk through that together. Okay, it's actually easier than what you thought. Okay, the hint I could give you is you can rely upon the national income account identity to figure out the second question on the worksheet. Okay, all right, so this video, let's continue talking about the evidence. Okay, and let's see if Adam Smith is right or not about how important saving is in economies development process. Okay, so here let's talk about the overview of the Asian economies, about their saving. Okay, now this table gives us the saving rates. Okay, for a bunch of countries. Now let's look at this. The first column, that's so-called the gross national saving. That means how much the nation as a whole saves. Okay, and the second column is household saving, or sometimes we say private saving. Okay, these are how much saved by household. Okay, and the national saving would be the household saving plus the government saving or the public saving. Okay, and the third column is a consumption as a percentage of GDP. By the way, all of these are, these numbers are expressed as a share in GDP. Okay, and consumption is just a flip side of saving. Okay, because for the household, the more they consume, the less they save. Okay, and the next one, the very last column, is the CA balance as a percent of GDP. So CA stands for current account balance. In other words, this is a trade deficit or trade surplus. Okay, and a country can also save through the international trade. Okay, but that requires more, international econ background. So that's why here I really want to drive your attention to the very first column about the gross national saving. Okay, as you can see, we divide these countries into 2 groups. The top group, consists of the developing countries like China, Malaysia, Thailand, and India, and recently developed countries, South Korea and Singapore. Okay, the bottom group includes, the well-developed economies, including Canada, Germany, UK, US. We also put Japan in this group because it became developed even before 1980s. Okay, so when we compare their gross national saving, we find a fundamental difference. Okay, And the top group, as you can see, the highest saving rate is in Singapore, which is 46.7%. Remember, in the previous video, we said that, as a development economist, we prefer using the real economic intuition instead of the monetary ones, right? So here we could say this means, for every 100 computers made or produced in Singapore, nearly 47 of them are actually saved for future production. Okay? In other words, they do not put all of them on the shelves for the consumers or households to buy. Okay? Only about 53 of them are available for households to purchase for personal use. Okay? They actually save 47, which is a lot. Okay, for the future production, like gave these to their workers in the workplace. Okay, so the workers could be more productive in the future. Okay, and in the top group, the lowest one is in India. Okay, 28.1%. But even for the lowest level, it's still much higher than the bottom group. Okay, as you can see here, United States, for example, is the lowest one, 13.5%. In other words, for every 100 computers we produced in the US, we only saved about less than 14 computers for future production. Okay, we consumed more than 86 computers. Okay, for personal purposes. And even in the bottom group, we find that Japan is still the highest, okay? The highest saving rate, nearly 26%, okay? Much higher than the US level, all right? Now here, if we zoom out and take a look at, Asia versus Africa, we would find even more amazing results here. So we find that in sub-Saharan Africa, they have the lowest saving rate in the developing world. Okay, the figures vary from country to country. The gross domestic saving or gross national saving in that region averaged about 18% of their GDP, compared with 26% in South Asia and nearly 43% in East Asia and Pacific countries, according to the World Bank estimates. Okay, so there's a huge regional difference in the saving rate. Simply speaking, Asia saves a lot more than the rest of the world, no matter when we look at the Western developed economies or the developing economies in Africa. Okay, the conclusion is held true. And I guess here in East Africa, like when we look at the Ethiopia, Uganda, and Tanzania, we find each has less than one bank branch per every 100,000 people. Okay, and the ratio is better for some southern African countries, like Namibia has more than 4 bank branches, and Zimbabwe has more than 3, and Botswana has nearly 4 bank branches per every 100,000 people. Okay, 100,000 people, that's a lot, right? Think about the population in Greencastle, right? It's less than 10,000. And have you ever counted how many bank branches you can actually find in Greencastle? We have Old National Bank in downtown, right? We have a PNC Bank, I believe, over there. And we also have First National Bank on the Indianapolis road, I believe, right? So we have at least three, probably, yeah, 3 or 4, plus many other ATMs and other like insurance agents and other things, right? But again, in Africa, for every 100,000 people, they have less than one bank branch. Again, there are many other reasons for this, but one important reason is people did not save much. Okay, if they did not save much, then there's no market for these financial institutions. Okay, and then they, did not establish, many bank branches over there. Okay, now about this regional difference, I would like to encourage you guys to think about this. Why do Asian economies save this much? Okay, if we believe that the higher saving, or you could say among some Asian economies, a very high saving rate is their secret recipe for the economic prosperity. Okay, so if we provide the policy suggestions to other economies, okay, like even the developed economies and developing economies in Africa, we tell them that you guys got to save more. But we also need to tell them, how to save more, right? So that goes back to the answer to this question: why do Asian people or economies save this much? Okay, again, think about this and bring your interesting ideas or insights to our class, and let's talk about it. Okay. All right, and we also have two more pieces of evidence about how saving promotes investment, okay, or the capital stock, and we're gonna wait till the next video to talk about these.